All right, we're live.
Hey everyone.
Oh, hi.
Hey. How's it going, Paul?
Uh, doing okay. All things
Yeah.
considered, doing pretty
Staying
fine. How about
healthy,
you?
staying clean, washing your hands for 20 seconds.
Like, who didn't do that? Okay, so fun fact: growing up, we had a sign like ever since like kindergarten, maybe grade 2 or 3 or something, like really
And
young.
it was days since hands washed, and you won for having the largest number beside your name.
No, what happened is a sign says to properly wash your hands, you like wash the same amount that it takes you to like go through Twinkle Twinkle Little Star or whatever without like speeding it up, just to get kids used to like, you should be washing your hands for like a minute basically. You shouldn't just be putting water on them. So I've just not ever fucking noticed that people just put water on their hands and leave because I'm used to you just sit there and you fucking
Sit
clean.
there and you go through the thong song in your head, right?
Yeah, like any song, like
Did
literally
you see that
anything.
Disco tweeted that out yesterday?
That's pretty good.
That
All
was pretty
right.
funny. And what was especially good about his is because he does a video of him doing it. And at the beginning, he has like this big sigh he does, and then he turns the water on and starts it, and almost as if it's like one more time, here we go. And then he starts just humming, or he just starts like lowly singing the thong song while he's washing his hands.
They brought me back out of retirement for this.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, it was very good. I,
Yeah.
I enjoyed that one quite a bit.
So yeah,
But I
this
think
whole
the
like
rule is it's 20 seconds, right? But like you only have to do it like once a week.
yeah, it's something like that for sure.
Yeah. Okay.
And the fact that like people don't like wash between their fingers, like what are people fucking doing? What? What at this point, why bother washing your hands at all if you're just not going to actually wash them?
Yeah. Why don't you just spit right on my face?
Here's another thing. As soon as you wash your hands, like you better be using paper towel or something to open that door handle at a public washroom because that thing is dirty as
See,
fuck.
I don't do that one because there's usually not a garbage on the other side. I'm gonna be
Yeah,
carrying this paper towel with me forever. What do I do with this paper towel? I guess
it's
when you can
worth it,
do the
man.
thing where you like open the door and then prop it open and turn around and throw it back in the garbage. But then it's like
Yeah,
I don't got time for that. So, and I know that's not the best, but I always try and just like grab a part of the handle that no one's thinking about.
this
Like
is
a
honestly
sneaky
like
grab.
we should have a like foot control where you can just step on it to like
Yeah,
open the
I've
door or
heard of
something.
those. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Hands are
Or
gross.
maybe if you just put both your arms in the air, the door will open.
That would be pretty good. Yeah,
Yeah. That's true. Yeah, that's what they should do.
yeah,
Everything should be automatic.
yeah.
Like the soap dispenser, obviously the water,
Yep.
the part where my belt comes open, that should just automatic. I just want to walk into the bathroom with my hands in the air,
Yeah,
and everything gets taken care of for me.
yeah. That'd be pretty good. Not gonna lie.
Yeah. John's not here. If you haven't noticed, he had like an emergency last minute cat
Yeah.
issue, so he was going to be busy for the foreseeable future taking care of Bagel. So it's
Yeah.
a duo cast this week.
Yep. So make sure to stay tuned to John's Twitter to know how that's going because I'm sure he'll
Yep,
post about it.
for sure.
But
Yep. But good
yeah,
luck to them.
yeah, for sure.
Um, I'm gonna shave my beard this weekend.
Yeah, it's been a
Yeah,
while.
I was hoping maybe we could all kind of just like say a few words in like memoriam for it on the show today. Because
Um,
this was your idea, I should say. You urged that you had a few words you wanted to say, and I wanted to give you that platform.
of course.
Yeah.
Um, I knew thee well, beard. Actually, I don't
Ah,
remember. I don't remember what you look like with that one now. It's been a
there you go.
while.
Yeah. Usually I go like a November to February thing. This
Yeah.
time I went December to March. Look at that.
So why are you shaving though? Any
I'm just,
particular reason, or you just want to?
I'm just ready for it to be done.
Sure, that's fair.
Just kind of tired of it.
Yeah.
Also, I hear the masks don't work if you have a beard. I also hear the
Oh,
masks don't work, and then I hear that the masks do work. I don't even know what I'm supposed to do. What
I
do you do with the
mean,
mask?
the masks work if you use them properly, and also usually if you're the one sick, you should be using the mask, not literally everybody else. because that's not how that works.
So I ride the train into and out of San Francisco. This
Sure.
entire week, I got a seat every single time.
Yeah.
That's how
People
few
staying home.
people are staying home. Um, there was this one cool guy though that I sat down beside. He had a mask on, but it was like pulled down under his chin
Oh, yeah, that's
for
useless then.
whatever reason. So he didn't have it wearing, and then
Yeah,
he just coughed without covering his like face.
sure.
So
It's completely
not only
useless.
does he suck, but he's just wearing the mask for fashion at this point. What are you doing, old man? Anyways, I walked to the other side of the car.
Here's the thing. If you want to wear masks for fashion, I get that. But during an epidemic, you should be using it too.
It was like, yeah, I don't get what that
That's
guy's
weird.
problem with, but that did
No.
suck. Anyway, yeah, I get a seat all the time now, which is insane. So my Switch playing is way up. So I guess
Okay.
there's the silver lining
Great.
if you needed to find one.
Legit, are you worried? Because I'm getting a little more anxious about it, but that's only not even because like I'm scared I'm going to get it, just because of what it's doing to our economy right now, which we'll get to later.
Weird, yeah. Well, I'm working from home these days now.
Yeah.
That's the rule that's come down is time to work from home. So I was like,
Okay.
okay, working from home, sure.
Yeah.
So like I guess I'm less worried now because I have a bit more control on the people I'm going to come in contact with.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah.
And also any event that I may have been signed up for just keeps getting canceled.
Yeah.
I don't know. I guess I'm not worried,
Okay. Yeah.
but maybe I should be. I don't know.
Yeah.
You
I
are?
don't
You're
know
worried?
either. I'm not worried. I'm anxious about it. Like, I want to see. I need to know like what the end of this is. Like, I'm kind of okay
Can't
with
even
like
see the end of the tunnel. We don't even know if we're at the pinnacle yet.
we're not at the pinnacle as far as like
Yeah.
leading researchers are saying. They're like, oh,
Right,
this is like
right.
the baby steps right now. Like, wait 6
gonna
months
get
from
worse,
now,
for sure.
a lot more people are gonna get sick. A lot more people are gonna die, and then it'll be fine. It's like, okay, well, I guess that has been the case with literally every disease ever for us. This is just the new one. But
This one's gotten so much more publicity though.
this one has gotten a lot of publicity, yeah.
Yeah, which is weird. Yeah, I don't know. But you have it a little bit better. You're not in like a super hot zone
Not too bad.
compared to like the states.
Sure.
And like in like Canada's hot zone is on the East Coast, so
Yeah.
you guys are doing okay. But I did hear that Alberta canceled all events of like 250 or more.
Yeah. So anything that had 250 or more people are just
Yeah,
canceled
I
now.
think San Francisco has canceled 100 up.
Makes sense.
But I was getting because I was supposed to go up at the end of the month for an event that has been canceled. But I was a little worried about like just going to the airport, going on
Sure.
a plane. Like I was planning to like I guess I'll wear a mask because why not?
Sure.
But yeah,
Don't
we'll
have to
see.
worry about
I
that
don't
anymore.
know. Yeah, I actually what I did get worried about though is I was hearing reports of they were stopping Americans from coming back into the States.
Yeah.
So that would have sucked if I just got like trapped back home.
Yeah.
That would have been extremely inconvenient.
That would have sucked for sure. I'm more worried about also the fact that it's like if I get sick with this, I don't want to like give it to family members somehow down the line and like one of them dying from it or something like that's really
Well, I
more
mean, you'll
than
have
anything.
to like quarantine yourself for sure.
Yeah, yeah. The problem
I would
is that
expect, like
you just don't know though, right? That's the
Right,
scary
yeah.
part that you have it.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know.
Weird.
I mean, I'm still going to the gym. I'm not like hiding from people.
Oh no, like people need to live their lives still because whatever's going to happen is going to happen. Like I don't know, man. Weird. The way people have been buying toilet paper and shit though. Like oh, crazy. We have a shortage up here current. I mean, you probably too there as well. But
Right. I've just been seeing like pictures. I haven't like gone to the store. I was actually pretty fortunate in like 2 weeks ago. I was running low on like kind of all my toiletries, like your paper towels, your Kleenex. So I bought from Costco, so in bulk, like a pack of each of those.
sure.
So I'm actually in like a pretty good spot. But I am curious if that does get low, like what's the plan? What am I gonna do? Am I gonna have to like get to a store real early and wrestle someone for a roll of
I've been training
TP?
for this moment. Yeah. Training
Yeah.
all my life.
This is
It's
why I've been going to the gym.
and like I get the whole like reasoning of you just don't want to leave your house or whatever, so you're stocking up. It's just weird that toilet paper is one of the big ones that people keep stocking up on, because this isn't even a disease that like affects your like bowels. This is a coughing thing.
Well, okay. There's two good reasons you want the toilet paper. One, it's going to be the new currency.
Sure, that's true.
And the reason it's going to be the new currency is like, yo, if you need toilet paper, you need toilet paper. I mean, like paper towels, you can air dry your hands. You can wipe it on your pants. You can't do that for what toilet paper does for you.
I haven't needed toilet paper for like 2 years. Bidets are the way to go.
But don't you still gotta like dry stuff up?
Yeah, but like the amount of toilet paper you use to just dry water rather than clean is so much less. It's like a quarter.
But if you run out of that toilet paper,
then
what
you're
just like
you're literally stuck air drying, I guess.
Walk around and just air dry the downtown.
I think you're just stuck there until you're dry, which might be hours.
Just sitting on the toilet.
Yeah.
It's just the dog with the fire. This is fine.
Yeah. This is I live here now. Yep.
Yeah, exactly. This is no. Can you bring the dinner in here?
Yeah.
I'm gonna be like a solid at least 45.
Yeah. I mean,
I'm gonna set up a fan. Can you bring a fan over here?
At least water doesn't take that long to dry, thank God. But yeah. It's still like longer than you would want to be stuck sitting on a toilet for sure.
Sure. Well, I mean, at least the Switch is portable.
Yep,
so,
that's true.
You got the Switch there. You got Farmer's Almanac or whatever those books are that you see in like an old person's bathroom.
Yeah, and then you got your phone or your Amazon whatever playing the latest top-down perspective on. Oh yeah. So you can listen to that while you're waiting. So it's a good life.
Yeah. Look at that segue.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe you're listening to us right now in the bathroom.
I hope so.
There you go. That's the way it's meant to be enjoyed.
Yep.
On the toilet, pants off.
Yep.
Today is March 12th. I'm Sean Booker.
I'm Paul Fleck.
All right, Paul, what have you been playing?
So just some quick wrap up stuff, I guess. Division 2 Warlords, season 1 officially started. Their like season pass stuff, which is basically they have, so the idea is you're fighting a rogue agent and his network in that whole like expansion or whatever. That's the storyline stuff. The season stuff is you are fighting like parts of his rogue cell and like their network. So right now they have like another rogue agent that is like running amok, and every week they're introducing like a new lieutenant that you can gain intel on and fight or whatever as part of that season. So
I'm missing out by not playing it every week.
No, you can do it at any time. But like
if you stack up, a backlog of dudes.
Yeah, so instead of waiting, like doing, like this week, I don't remember their name. I think their call sign's Neptune or whatever. So going after him, you would be able to go after him and like whoever next week, or like those two and then the next person or whatever. So I did all that stuff. That game continues to be fine. It's at the part right now where it's the loot grind of getting the new better gear and like seeing the season stuff, and it's fun. It's a good way to waste some time. So I've just been working on that a little bit. The big drop this week though was Modern Warfare had their new Warzone mode, which is their battle royale.
I downloaded this. I didn't get a chance to play it because that thing is 100 gigs if you don't have Modern Warfare.
Oh right, because it's separate. I forgot about that. Like it can be,
but it goes through like the Modern Warfare launcher, which is super weird because I'm installing it on the Xbox, and as far as like my download queue, it's installing Modern Warfare, like 100 gigs of Modern Warfare, and it's like what? So I go to the store to double check. I selected the right thing, and that one says, oh no, Warzone is installing. So it's a weird name jumping around, but it needs to install, I guess, a significant portion of Modern Warfare, even though Warzone does not use up 100 of those gigs.
Yeah.
Which sucks.
Yeah.
That is so many gigs that I don't even have access to. They're literally just they're just like, hey, we're gonna take 80 of your gigs.
Yeah.
and enjoy having 80 gigs less.
Honestly, I think there might be something to that where it's like, well, you already have it installed. You paid this amount and you have access to everything else. Like maybe
Yeah,
there's a little bit of
yeah,
there.
it's like, look how fancy these menus are. What if you could hit start game on this one? How about $60?
Yeah. At the end,
It'll just go. We'll download a 1 kilobyte file that says go. Go nuts, bro.
so at the end of the day, I would do that because I think the Call of Duty like normal multiplayer stuff is funner than the battle royale stuff. This battle royale stuff is real good though, especially if you like Apex. It's built kind of like that.
I like Apex.
It's much more. It's not as like charismatic because it's still army dudes doing army dude things rather than like a robot or like that Wraith character or whatever. Like they're not like fun characters. Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Okay. Yep.
They're not like fun characters with like super
You're slowly
interesting
unselling me on this game as you
with
tell me about
interesting
how
powers or anything. I mean, they're dudes that like pick up guns and shoot each other. Like that's the basic, but they do the 3-man squads.
Can anyone go invisible?
I don't think so.
Oh man, is there any grappling hooks?
I don't actually know if there's grappling hooks or not. I know
like
that
I should just play more Apex.
That's the thing is that at this point, if you care about battle royale at all, you have your battle royale game. You probably weren't waiting for a new one. However, if you really really liked that one that they did for Black Ops 4, then you'll probably really really like this because this is better. This is a better version of that.
That was called Blackout, right?
I think so. Yeah. I only played that one a few times.
I think the fact of not tying it to a specific game, because this is free to play, right? You don't need Modern Warfare, even though they're going to put it on your Xbox whether you want it or not. I guess this can kind of live independently because, like with Black Ops 4, Modern Warfare comes out and it's like, who's still playing Black Ops 4, regardless of it having an exclusive battle royale mode. So I have a feeling this is the start of it'll be a separate thing. I'm surprised they have it inside of that launcher at all, but I would not be surprised if, like, let's say next gen consoles come and it's a separate download. Modern Warfare isn't on the name of the install.
Yeah, I think there might be some truth to that. If you've played Apex, it plays very similarly, and you can pick up armor packs, and then they kind of work like the shields or whatever, where they take a little bit to like don and put on, but then you have kind of an overshield over your health. You can get people up. If you die, you get thrown into the gulag, and you have a chance to fight your way back out onto the battlefield.
Okay, but you can't like bring your teammate back Apex style.
I don't know because I played solo. I don't know anybody that plays.
That's one of the things I really like about Apex. As someone that just sucks, I like that I could come back pretty easily if my friend was willing to be a team player.
Sure.
I'm gonna give it a try. Like, I played so much Apex, I want to see what the next one is.
Sure. Yep. So I guess like for people that had played Blackout or whatever before, the big difference is 3-man squads rather than duos or quads or whatever. It's 3-man now. You can choose to go without a full team of 3, or you can like just opt in for
just if, like, you're a baller.
Yeah, you could go in without them, or with like one buddy and you don't want the team to fill up or whatever. You don't want randos, or you could just jump in with randos. It'll match you. And yeah, there is that weird mechanic of if you go down and die, you get captured and thrown into the gulag and then you have a one-on-one fight with another prisoner. And if you win, you get thrown back out into the battlefield for a second chance. It's fucking weird.
That's kind of funny. Yeah, that's weird. That is super weird.
That's a weird thing. Yeah, okay, so that's the main battle royale mode. There's a secondary mode that's called Plunder, and it's kind of just battle royale, but the whole idea is you're going around looking in like crates and stuff for weapons and armor as usual, but also as much money as you can get and then get out. So it's kind of like a cash grab sort of thing. It's weird.
Like, you don't need to be the last team standing. You can escape the whole thing.
I think so, but I haven't
Okay.
done a lot of that mode. I've been looking for somebody. I have a friend or two that play it, but they just haven't been around, and I hate playing those games like solo. So
Do you is there any because like Modern Warfare was big on we have crossplay. Does this
it's
also have crossplay?
completely, yeah, as far as I can
Nice.
tell.
Okay. All
It's hard
right.
to tell because it's weird in the normal lobby. Because they're kind of smaller, you'll see names and then you'll see what thing they're playing. And this is just
Yeah.
like 130 out of 150 waiting for 20 more, and like I don't see who's in it. So
Okay.
it's a little more
I do understand
anonymous.
though when the game does end, you get a list of everyone who is killed,
Yes, that's true.
which is super weird.
Yeah.
Also, yeah, it's 150. That's a new one.
Yeah. Marginally bigger for sure. And that map is cool. Like that's a bigger map, and it's designed with a lot of weird little crevices and secret areas that you can go through that like to go around places. It's cool. It's a good map. Again, it's a basic military thing though. There's no wacky powers or anything like that. You are a dude that picks up guns. So
I do like the wacky powers of Apex.
uh-huh.
And I like that it's not super wacky like Fortnite. Like I
Sure.
thought Apex was like a really good middle ground.
Sure.
Uh,
This is much more
so
serious, but this is still
yeah,
more
we'll see.
wacky, I would say, than PUBG, where that was like very much a we care about our shooting. This is more arcadey
Right.
anyway.
Okay. All
Yeah.
right. I'm gonna give it a try. It took 100 of my gigabytes, so I'm gonna give it a try.
Yep. Cool. The big one this week for me though, Ori and the Will of the Wisps came out.
Right.
So
Yeah.
I've
I got a
dug
code
deep
sent to
into
me,
that. Nice.
so I've been playing it for a little bit
For
longer.
the weekend. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm assuming so you must have played it after the day one patch came out, so you didn't see
No,
it.
no, I didn't. I didn't get that patch. I pre-installed it, and I didn't realize there was a patch, and the Windows PC thing doesn't just automatically download anything.
Okay, then
So,
that game runs real poorly.
oh no, it ran fine, but it had audio glitches.
So now that I'm remembering a bit more, the because the PR person was kind of going back and forth with me. The Windows one was on a later build than the
Gotcha.
Xbox version. So they were
Bummer.
saying like, hey, if you're reviewing and stuff, please check out the PC version, before you're done with the game. It is on Game Pass, so it is crossplay. If you would like to request a Steam code instead to try that one out, I can look into that for you guys.
Sure.
But the Xbox One was even behind. One of the lines was like, please try it at least on the Xbox One X. And all I could think was, oh, it doesn't run that good on Xbox One X either.
Okay, I need to know what's wrong. Like how it was.
it,
This is kind of where I wish John was here because I know he's played a little bit of it too, and
I guess he would have been playing the worst version, isn't he?
I think he's
I
playing
saw
the
him
worst
playing it
version.
on the standard Xbox One.
And he was the one that had a lot of problems, like even when I was visiting him at his house with the first one, where
Right.
it was
I did
stuttered
want
a
to ask
lot.
him about it because I saw he was like streaming it yesterday, but I didn't watch his stream. And when I did chime into his stream, he was already past it.
Right.
Um, yeah, we'll have to ask him later on, but yeah, it runs pretty poorly. Even after the day one patch, it still runs a little poorly for me.
Damn.
But it would just hitch up all the time. And it's like I said, it still does. You're doing all this platforming, and then the game just freezes, and so you have to be like,
Oh,
okay, wait, did it take my button press, or am I gonna have to do another jump afterwards? Oh, I'm gonna have to do that jump again. It didn't go through. That happens pretty consistently. Um, Going in and out of the map
uh-huh.
would cause a lot of like pauses, which sucks
Okay.
because I'm constantly going in and out of the map.
You
That's one
need
of the
to
things
go
I
through
really
that
wish.
map.
I wish there was a mini map because so many times I'm going around and I'm like, okay, wait a sec. Was it a left here or did I need to go down and then a left? Like every 30 seconds, I'm like opening that map. It is
Or the
pretty rare that
ability to
I'm
put
like,
like a pin in there and have a trail lead you, like, or at least something on the screen to show you where that
nothing. I'm just
spot is.
the way I'm playing this game is I'm not just like, I'm going to explore. I'm going to go as far as I can in one direction. A lot of the time it's like, no, I want to get to this spot right now. Okay, now I want to
Oh,
get to this spot right now. Um,
yeah.
Especially when it like opens up and you have a ton of stuff to do on the map. So I am opening up that map, like I said, every 30 seconds, looking. Okay, which way was it? Okay, right, it was this one, and then what was after that? Okay, it was this one. Um,
So I'm doing the opposite. I will spend an hour and a half in an area and looking at every crevice. So
But eventually you're gonna not, and you're gonna have to go to like specific spots if you're trying to like wrap things up.
yeah, like I'm 5 hours in and I can't even talk about it without spoiling it. I did the part the where you I figured out why it's called the Will of the Wisps, and I'm going to do the
Okay.
Wisps.
Okay, so I'm a little past that, which I didn't think that was 5 hours in. I've done so. There's three things you're looking for right now. It branches out, and you
But
can do
again,
one of
I've
the three.
spent like an hour in every single spot in that game.
Maybe that's the
Yeah.
case. Yeah. So when you get to that point, it branches out. There's three options you can go to. I've completed
Yes.
one of those.
Okay.
Which, by the way, that boss fight sucked. It's a
So
giant spider, and that one completely sucked.
here's the here's what I'll say is I find the bummer of this game. I don't like the combat very much. I like
Oh, interesting.
I don't like how the combat moves very much. It's gotten a little bit better with some of the like what do you I don't remember what they're called, like traits or like the
The
slots that
passive ones?
well, okay, in Hollow Knight they were like pins. What the hell are they in this again?
Are you talking about the passive ones, or the things you tie to the face buttons?
The passive ones. Well, both
Yeah, I
technically, but specifically the passive ones.
think it's shards.
Shards, something like that. Yeah.
I think
So,
it's shards.
one of the new features in this game is that you have kind of like a loadout where you can equip different. We'll call them shards because I think you're right. And
Well, I think loadout would imply more of the face buttons because those are your attacks.
yeah,
If
technically
There's two
both.
separate equipables. There's like your weapon equipables, which you just hold down left trigger, you highlight over what you want, similar to like Mass Effect, like attack wheel.
Sure.
And then you kind of just bind it to one of the face buttons.
Yeah.
I think that works pretty well because it just freezes the game, and
Yep.
there's like not enough face buttons that I am changing them out mid fight. Most of the
Mhm.
time, it's to like get the healing one back.
The healing one's real good. Like
Really good.
way better than Hollow Knight's. Hollow Knight's healing is like real hard to use. This thing is really easy and really good.
Yeah. And then the other equipables are, yeah, these passive ones that'll be stuff like enemies drop more loot. You take less damage.
Yeah.
You can um, cling to walls. Some of them are like super useful. One of them is like, here's a triple jump,
Yeah.
which
So
like, of course
I've
I
bought
wanted
the
that one.
I saved up for the triple jump.
That's a game changer.
That's a good one. The one that I just haven't taken off is clinging to walls is too good.
So I did take that one off when I only had 3 of those slots because I
Yeah,
was like, well, I don't need this, but it was the first one I put back on once I unlocked more slots. When I
yeah,
learned that you could unlock more slots, that was awesome. That was
game
so cool.
changer
Now I have
too.
like 5 or 6 of them.
Sure. Uh just quality of life thing. I wish so in that menu, you have to if you have all your slots equipped, you have to unequip one before you can equip another. I wish you could just like try to equip one and then like say which one do you want to replace. That's just
Oh,
like an
okay. That's
easy
that's pretty minor, but yeah, yeah,
easy
yeah.
UI change that I kind of wish was there. Um the game's still fucking beautiful. Like I don't know
Oh,
what to
for
tell
sure.
you.
I keep hearing that it's way better than the first one, but I haven't seen the first one in a while, so this one looks like what I thought the other one did, but apparently this one looks way better.
Yeah.
When it's
Maybe too
not
many
hitching,
bloom effects too. Like I wish that some of the bloom effects. This is the attack thing again. Specifically, just getting into the weeds. When you're attacking, there's a lot of like particle effects and like a lot of like glowiness going because you're a spirit and you're hitting shit with your spirit weapons. But some things shoot things at you, and those are also glowy colors of different sorts. And there's just a lot of color, and I don't see some things that hit me sometimes. But
sure.
it's kind of balanced out with the fact that that healing thing that you get is
and,
really
like,
good.
you can get a lot of health. You can heal pretty quick.
Yeah,
So,
crazy amount
um,
of healing.
I was actually gonna say because you said you weren't really into the combat. I feel like I quite enjoy the combat. It's pretty deliberate. Like you have to really like get down some of the enemy patterns,
Mhm.
because there is rarely any enemy you can kill with just like one combo. A lot of the times, you're gonna do like a 3-hit combo, and then you are gonna be wide open for that
Yeah,
enemy to just like leap attack you or shoot some venom at you.
yeah,
So you really have to kind of get good with it. Specifically, again, the bosses, you have to like figure out what is the pattern. And then a lot of the bosses have a ton of health, and it's just like, all right, I'm gonna do 3 attacks, and then I'm gonna dart to the other side, and I'm gonna run up this wall, and I'm gonna do 3 attacks, and then I'm gonna dart to the side. Like there's a lot of like pattern. You have to kind of figure it out, kind of
Yeah.
stuff. The reason I hated that spider boss was so there are checkpoints along the way with the bosses, but at least with the spider one, they were pretty far between, and it had so much health, my attacks would do pretty little damage. So it would take me a while to get to each checkpoint, and it has one-hit KO moves. So there were
Oh
so
crap.
many times where I would have like, all right, here we go. I took this out, one-hit KOs me, half of its health bars back, and it's like,
Yeah.
oh my god. So that
One
one
hit
was
KOs
really
in all video games make me instantly rate it one lower. I hate one hit KOs in literally every game.
right. To be fair, like once I figured out how to avoid that one, it
Yeah.
became a lot easier, but just like how far it kept pushing me back and how many times I had to repeat that until I was like, okay, I know what I need to do now.
Hmm.
That was just really frustrating. Uh, I do think the game looks fantastic.
It
It's so
does.
good.
It
The
absolutely
music
does.
really really great. Like the stuff
Oh my
that they
god.
did
Yeah.
really good in the first game, they're doing really good once again.
Yeah.
I just wish it ran smoother. Uh,
That's
but
such
what
a
can you do?
bummer. Yeah.
More of the differences is there's side quests to take on, and there's a bunch of them.
There's a lot. Yeah.
There's a lot of characters you can like chat with, which I really like. The characters are all really cool and nicely designed and all that. I just like being in that world again. Like if you're an Ori fan, this is you're gonna love this.
Yeah.
It is more of that. It is a good evolution of that. But yeah, they've taken some like Hollow Knight DNA and put it into this.
They've definitely taken a lot of inspirations of mechanics for sure. Also, it's heart wrenching. That like fuck.
Oh
I
yeah,
can't
no, the part you're talking about,
I
like,
can't talk.
damn, I did not see that coming.
So that happened last night, and I was just like, I think I'm done for tonight. Like, I actually feel like crying. Like, that's terrible. Fuck this game. I was done. That Jesus Christ, that game is so good though. Like, it makes me
Platforming is
remember
fantastic.
the
It was good in the
platforming.
first one. Like
Yeah,
it just controls so well. Like when you are in like the flow of it, when you get like that triple jump and then the dart, and then you're like flinging off like an attack. Like
the like
it is
hook
really
shot
cool.
type thing. Like, just
They
yeah.
added like the speed trials, the races.
I hate those. I
Oh,
actually
I
don't
like
like
them
them.
'cause they're hard, but it's like I am having to be like, okay, I'm gonna do a jump, and then I'm gonna do a dart, and then I'm not gonna do another jump because I'm gonna cling onto this. Like it is almost a puzzle in which, like, I really like it, and I love that you're racing a ghost, so you
Hmm.
can tell, like, all right, as long as I'm doing
If you're
better than
doing
that guy,
good,
or what is that guy doing, so I
yeah,
know what I can do. I like that you can race other people's ghosts on the leaderboards and whatnot,
yeah, that's
um,
cool.
and also just looking at like the global leaderboards and like they did it in half the time. How on earth would you have done that in half that time?
Yeah,
So I actually really do like those. I think that's pretty fun.
there's a lot of side stuff in this for sure. A lot of it.
Yep.
Um, yeah, I I don't have a whole lot more. This is the type of thing that, like, to talk more about it, I would get deep into spoilery stuff, and like I need to see more of it because I need to see like what mechanics they keep adding on. But it's a good start for sure. I feel like it's gonna take a while to get through. There's just feels like a
I
lot.
remember them saying it's like 3 times as long as the first one.
Okay, so what is that, like maybe 16-ish hours, 20 hours, something like
I,
that?
I guess, yeah, I can't remember, but there is an achievement for beating it in under 4,
Sure.
or like beating it without ever dying. These just
That's
insanely
crazy.
difficult achievements. Yeah.
Hollow Knight had that garbage too. That like, yeah, no thanks. I'm not into those. But yeah, people should check this out if they like Ori.
Yeah,
For
Game
sure.
Pass, like fantastic Game Pass.
Yep.
Microsoft exclusive, so good for them.
Yep.
So
Yep.
always exciting.
Yep. For sure.
Right on.
That's all I've been playing. So what else have you been playing?
I've been playing a very little bit of Indivisibles, and then Ori came out.
Uh,
um, but I played maybe an hour of Indivisibles, and I just want to say that combat is super cool.
yeah,
Like
it gets crazy.
it is extremely unique.
Yeah.
And I love the way the game looks. I'm looking
Yep.
forward to seeing how the combat will like evolve, but it is just like really unique. I can't think of anything else
Totally.
That's quite like that. And I like that you have to also, so you're hit, the way the combat works, for those who don't know, is you have characters assigned to the face buttons. And so it's like if you want to do an attack with this guy, you hit Y. And if you want to do an attack with this person, you hit X. And then they'll go and do their attack, and the stamina meter will kind of fill up again, and then so you can do a different attack. You also have to guard each person individually, so you have to watch where the enemies are going to attack, and then press the corresponding person on your team to do a block in time. So that's really fun. It is a really cool evolution of what is essentially like a turn-based combat, um, that has like a weird blend of like a real-time combat. It's interesting. I like it quite a bit.
Yeah. If
I'm
anybody
looking
played
forward to playing
Valkyrie
more.
Profile back in the day, it plays exactly like that. Just as
Okay. Yeah, I did.
just
I
for
haven't.
anybody.
So I didn't know that was
Yeah,
from
like,
somewhere else. So
or
cool.
it's a better version of that because that's an old game, but it's the same idea. Indivisible
Right on.
is so fucking good. God damn, that's like my sleeper hit, man. Like that people didn't talk about as much as I feel like they should have.
It's real good. Well, I feel like I heard quite a bit of people talking about it, which is why it was like on my like I really want to get to this, and I
Mm-hmm.
missed out. But yeah, no. As soon as I'm kind of wrapped with Ori, that's the next thing I'm going back to, single player mode, or
Yeah,
for single player games, because it's not like two major single player games aren't coming out next week.
I know that it's rough, dude. It's rough.
I've been enjoying all of the like Twitter takes of like Nintendo, we need Animal Crossing a week early because we're all stuck at home.
Oh, that's kind of sad.
Uh, but I was like, I'm here. That'd be pretty funny. Like, could you
Yeah,
imagine if they're just like, well, I guess it is done. Like, it's out in reviewers' hands. People have the game. Could you imagine
it's
this
true.
being like, because everyone's home, we're given Animal Crossing is releasing tonight.
Yeah,
That'd
Nintendo
be
is
crazy.
like the one company that I couldn't see doing that. Maybe
That'd be pretty
ever.
crazy. Yeah.
That'd be pretty good though.
All right, that's what we've been playing. Let's talk about some news.
Okay.
As is custom, let's talk about everything that the coronavirus has been doing um,
It's a lot. Yeah.
to pop culture. There's a lot this week. Um, I'm gonna skip past a few of these because I feel like we should talk about the big one first.
Just get out of the
Uh,
way.
yeah, like it's obviously like the biggest news story as well. E3 was canceled,
Completely. Yeah.
which is that's super crazy, super duper crazy. Um, Coronavirus took it out. I figured I was gonna ask you guys if it hadn't been. I was gonna ask us to take bets
If it was going to be.
this episode if it was going to get canceled. I'm pretty sure I would have said yes because a bunch of other stuff during the summer was getting canceled.
Sure.
So why wouldn't this one have?
Yeah. True.
Uh, my question is, and I posed this on Twitter, like, does E3 come back next year?
Yeah, I think it does.
Yeah, what makes you say that?
I I don't know, just the fact
Okay,
that
well, I'll
it's
tell
hard
you
to
why I don't think it does.
uh-huh.
So they've said they're going to try and have some kind of digital E3, which
Sure.
is probably just going to mean a bunch of live streams from random developers and publishers, right?
Yep.
um, I think so many publishers are going to see that they're going to get the exact same kind of like return on like the fan viewership,
Sure.
and they're going to see how much money they're saving, that they're
Yeah.
going to be like, we don't have to do this. We don't have to go to E3. It is like the cost to profit here is so much better if we just repeat whatever they're going to do this year, that I
Sure.
bet they're just like, nah, I'm good.
I the problem is that we don't know, since we're not anybody in the like publisher business or whatever. Like we don't know what type of deals go down at E3 like that people use this
Sure,
for
like
like
the backroom door stuff, the
yeah,
networking.
not even just the networking, but like the literal sales of like a publishers talking to other publishers, and like game devs and stuff talking to publishers, like actual business stuff going on in back rooms. That stuff might be hampered a little bit, but I don't know. Like maybe that's stuff that we're just at the point you can send emails and talk on
Right,
Discord
what I'm
now.
saying is like I'm sure there's plenty of stuff where it's just like, oh yeah, we happened to be in an elevator together, so it
Sure.
worked out. Um, but it's not like deals can't happen outside of E3.
Right.
And if a publisher sees like this cost savings, why would they like no one's gonna be like, but there's the chance we might meet someone.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I guess for indies, for sure. They're doing that for a networking thing, right? Because like
I
this
think
might be the
so.
only way. But that's a different story. Like
Yeah.
indies aren't going to be running E3, and most people who are looking at E3 when it comes to like the normals, they're not looking at indies. They want to
True.
know what's at the Microsoft press conference, what's at then more so what's at the Sony press conference. They might not even know that Sony's not at E3, but there's still a
Sure.
press conference. Like you know what I mean? Who knows?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I feel like maybe CES is taking on some of that, like people going there to like look at companies and buy into ideas, like that's become
You
kind of the
mean
new industry
GDC?
thing.
CES is the tech show.
That's what I mean. No, I literally mean CES. GDC is definitely for game developers. I'm talking about like E3. I think was a time where people would also go to like see new equipment and stuff people are coming out with, or like new gimmicky game shit that you can't really
Okay,
like show a video on to really understand it.
sure.
But this
Okay.
is a spot that CES would take over easily, honestly.
Yeah, I just feel we usually don't get that many like game announcements out of CES.
Yeah. Well, without an
I mean,
E3,
Tokyo,
maybe they'll
like
start
what I think is going to take over because it's the biggest one is Gamescom. We'll just have a
Gamescom. Sure.
bigger presence. Gamescom.
Sure. Yep.
Um,
Probably.
I mean, I think E3 will hang around in like name only, and
Yeah.
it'll just kind of turn into a PAX, which is kind of what they were trying to make it do this year. It sounded like they're trying to bring more and more fans in.
Yeah.
So I think in name alone it'll be, but I don't think it's going to be like the mecca of
Sure.
game news that it once was. At least not in a like physical presence. Maybe a lot of publishers will still put out their live stream around the E3 time because there's a bit of like an expectation of like early June is when we announce stuff for the fall.
Right.
But I wouldn't be surprised if this is like the stepping stone of like that spreading out further. It's like, oh, we're gonna do it 2 weeks after that. We're gonna do it in July. We're gonna, you know what I mean?
Sure. Yeah. Could be.
I do think that if E3 wasn't in the weird state it was, maybe it would have hung around. But I felt like it was kind of already out the door, and this was
Totally.
just like the shove it needs. That's why I think
Yeah.
I don't think E3 comes back in anywhere near what we expect next year, if at all.
Yeah. I tweeted something along the same lines, actually, of like 1999 when E3 was peak, like this is video games, they would have made it work, or they would have found like something, they would have at least waited longer. The way E3 has been going and stuff, this makes sense. Like, also doing it early enough where people aren't booking flights, they're not making arrangements, and they're not doing stuff that they're going to have to be responsible for. Like, this is actually perfect timing for them to just cancel
Well, that's
it out.
probably why they didn't like wait longer to see if anything
Totally.
happens, because I bet they were getting pressure from like Ubisoft and stuff being like, "Yo, is this happening? Because we need to start like constructing booths. We need to talk to like I bet E3 plans happen like at least like a 3-4 months out, guaranteed."
Easy. Yep.
So
They were probably being finalized 3 or 4 months out. Yeah.
yeah,
So,
exactly. Like I know like a GameSpot, we are talking about E3 like long before E3 starts. Like, what's the
sure.
plan? What are we building? Blah blah blah, stuff like that. So,
Sure.
um,
So that got canceled, and in response, a bunch of stuff happened to that. Ubisoft specifically, they're gonna do a digital experience sort of thing to show off their stuff this year. Makes sense. They obviously had a bunch of stuff ready to go, so why not find like either use a time spot or at least use the microphone, as it were, where people are looking to see what people are doing currently to kind of say, hey, we're gonna do our own thing. Warner Brothers is kind of a weird one because they said they were going to reveal a bunch of stuff, and they haven't really specifically said if they're going to like be doing their own thing, but more so that their stuff is going to be included in like the Microsoft presentation and all this sort of stuff.
the article that I had read, I can't remember where it was, said that they were going to be having a press conference of their own for the first time.
Okay,
Because
so
they
they
had
are
to
doing
talk
one.
about it.
Okay,
Well,
cool.
they were. I don't know what that's going to turn into if it's just a thing.
Okay.
But they were going to reveal a new Batman,
Yeah.
which that has to be Montreal's thing that keeps getting teased on Facebook, the Court of Owls sounding stuff.
Yeah.
Whatever the Harry Potter thing that has been getting rumored for a while,
Uh-huh. Yep.
and then whatever Rocksteady's next thing is.
Right.
Uh, all things that like I am very curious to know, what is this stuff? There's been so many rumors. Like, what does any of this look like?
Yep. For
Um,
sure.
so they were going to do their first one. I guess they're not, but I wouldn't be surprised if they don't have their own stream. I'm excited for that stream just based on those three. I want to know all of that. I want to know
Sure.
the answers to all three of those.
Microsoft, to nobody's surprise, said, yeah, we're going to be doing a conference, a digital conference. It's like, yeah, of course you are.
Yep.
That's not surprising at all. And Devolver Digital actually are like the first ones to really break the news that there probably wasn't going to be an E3 with a tweet that says something like cancel your plans and nothing
Cancel your
else.
flights and hotels. Yep.
And then they came out afterwards saying that they will be doing their own thing. Specifically, the week of E3 has always been a big part of what we do, and we're bummed about it. Lots to juggle, but we do plan on having a live stream, Devolver Direct, press conference, and possibly more. So,
right. Which, I mean,
something.
they've been putting out their Devolver live streams each year, and they're insane and weird. And
yep,
that's, yeah, they're just the craziest things.
Sure.
It's like a Nintendo Direct with like blood and guts, but played to comedy. Yeah, those are always fun. So I'm glad they're gonna still do that.
I didn't grab it here, but Nintendo's response was that they applaud the ESA and E3 for like making this decision to ensure that like the industry is safe and blah blah blah.
Sure.
Of course, Nintendo does their own stuff anyway, so they'll be doing their thing. Okay, a whole bunch of other shit happened with coronavirus.
Yeah, these are kind of just like bullet points of what else got canceled.
Yep.
So let's just go down the list.
Sure. So GDC will be airing all their pre-recorded talks that they would have been putting on or whatever, or anybody who wanted to do a talk that recorded it. They submitted it, and you will be able to watch those next week as of this recording on their Twitch channel during the GDC time that it would have been on. Yep. So that's cool.
Bungie's announced everyone there is working from home.
Yep. Bungie announced everybody for Destiny 2 is working at home. So that's good. The TurboGrafx 16 Mini was delayed. This was more for John to see if he was like disappointed in this.
All right.
So there's that.
Weird.
Yeah.
Sure.
In Pokemon Go news, they had a Safari Zone event that they are postponing in St. Louis. Makes sense. You don't want like just 1,000 people, of which 1 or 2 might be sick, and getting everybody sick looking for Pokemon. But in news that actually just broke or whatever was posted like right before we went live, they're apparently making catching Pokemon easier in Pokemon Go, where incense will be lasting for 1 hour now. It'll be, was it half price? No, 99% off. So incense packs increase monster spawns.
You to have to walk around less, which is very, very funny.
Yeah. So 99% discount, meaning the Pokemon will come to you for like much, much cheaper, basically free. And then trainers can hatch eggs twice as fast. And yeah, so there you go. Overwatch League events in March and April canceled. That's basically not even worth talking about. In fact, there were so many other esports things canceled, I stopped grabbing them.
Yeah,
there
I have seen that a lot of them, I'm not sure if all of them, but a lot of those ones, they're still going to do them like online.
The Call of Duty one specifically. Yep.
I'm very curious. How does that work from a production standpoint? Because if they did them in person, they would know that everyone's running like the same internet LAN hookup. Doing it online, like what if someone just has a worse ping? How is that fair?
Yeah, I don't know. It's weird, man.
So I'm very curious from a production standpoint how you do these tournaments online. I'm sure there are plenty of tournaments that I just don't know about that are already online, because maybe they're just like not big enough to have like a event, and I've just never looked into this. So yeah, I'd be curious to know.
Sure. Disneyland in California is closed. The one in Florida currently is not yet. Uh, that's just kind of weird that they're both not.
Are you sure this
Bits,
article says Florida in the URL?
yeah,
Disneyland, Disney World will close. So the one in Florida will also close.
this just got updated when I
Oh,
pulled it
okay.
earlier today. Yeah, actually, there's a whole bunch of updates to this. Yes, they're both closing. Okay, there you go. Bit Summit, which is Japan's biggest indie, it's like their GDC in Japan, basically. I've actually known a few people that have flown out to it, is canceled as well, which is a bummer for indies in Japan. That's a really, apparently one of the bigger events that indies really like going to. So that sucks.
In
Uh,
more important news, they delayed the next Fast and Furious movie to next year.
to a full year, yep.
Yeah, man, that one stung.
That's
Jeez.
what a weird thing to read too, where it's just like, oh right, this I guess we'll see it next year.
A bunch
Disney
of
is
movies are getting delayed. I remember the first one was like the Bond movie.
oh, that's
That
right.
got
Yep.
delayed to the fall.
Yep.
There was another movie, and I can't remember, and then it was this Fast 9 was like the third one I had seen.
Hmm.
I'm curious if they're gonna delay Black Widow, which comes out in May, I believe.
No word on that yet, but Disney is postponing Mulan, The New Mutants, and Antlers.
Yeah. The New Mutants is kind of funny because that movie has been getting delayed for like
Uh
3 years now. And like it was finally coming out like next month, it was gonna finally see the light of day. Another delay.
yeah. That's never gonna come out. It's just never gonna come out at this time.
Yeah.
I'm gonna skip this other one quickly to keep on with the bad news train. NHL season's delayed. That sucks. I like watching
They also
NHL.
just ended the basketball I saw.
That's true. Yep.
I saw it because like it like changed this morning because it was gonna be. I think the Warriors here were gonna be the first ones with whoever they were playing to play to an empty stadium.
Mm.
Then I guess like one of the Utah players had coronavirus, so they were just like, "All right, fuck it, we're just canceling the whole thing."
Well, in the wake of every disaster, real humanity shows. Uh, First of all, I didn't grab this, but a dude on Twitter that's apparently rich or whatever was just like, "Hey, if you're an indie developer working in the U.S. on a visa and need to go home to like before they put in the travel ban to the EU and like you can't afford to, hit me up and I'll pay for your flight." It's just like, all right, well, that's
Oh,
crazy,
weird. Who
but
is this?
cool. I'll find him in a second. In more important news, Pornhub is giving Italy and Italians free premium during their quarantine because they're going to be staying home anyways, and they're donating a portion from their model hub, which is like their creator studio, like their Pornhub creator content creator thing.
I'll take your word for it. I'm not familiar with it myself.
Uh, they're donating a portion from their model hub, like money or whatever, to local hospitals in Italy to help them
Great, good
out.
for them, man.
Yeah,
Thanks, Pornhub.
thanks Pornhub.
And then the last one here is Discord. They upped their like live streaming capabilities or their free tier or whatever.
Right.
The share limit used to be 10 people. You can now share to 50 people. Just because I'm sure they're like, we're sure a lot of people are going to be stuck at home, so we'll let you live stream more.
And also
So good
big
guys.
businesses,
Discord.
maybe you can start thinking of Discord more than Skype. Just saying, we can do it too. I mean,
Yeah, maybe.
it's a win-win.
Exactly.
It's a win-win. I'm
Yep.
down for it. That's capitalism, baby.
Right on. I believe that's gonna be it for the coronavirus minute, or like chunk of the episode. Um,
Yes.
let's talk about more specific game news. Epic Games came out and said they love GeForce Now. They think it is a good thing. So all of their exclusives will be with GeForce Now. That does not mean anyone that's on the Epic Store has to do it. They're encouraging the people on the Epic Store to do it, but they're not making the developers do anything they don't want or the publishers.
Sure.
They're just saying that their games will be GeForce Now compatible.
Yes.
Right on.
Yep. So also, like, it's been doom and gloom with a lot of GeForce Now stuff. if you look at the list, they're consistently adding shit every couple days without people like complaining. Like, it's big publishers getting mad. A lot of people are super into like their games being able to be played by people with shitty computers or whatever. So
For sure, I bet a
yeah,
lot of the reasons the publishers are pulling them is they probably had like deals in place, or they're
to do
looking
some,
for deals
yeah,
with like Microsoft, who's coming up with one. Like with Project X Cloud being like in development still, I wouldn't be surprised if Microsoft's not out there trying to make these
buying
deals, or
some.
and if
Yep,
Ubisoft's like, yo, maybe we could get some of like some exclusivity money. And then
yeah,
if your stuff just pops up on GeForce Now, they're like, wait, what?
totally.
Hang on.
Yep. No, totally.
Um,
That's for sure. That's for sure the case. Also, like stuff with Bethesda, they're looking into doing this themselves for a while now.
Ryan.
Activision won't like let anybody get any pennies that they could maybe pinch themselves, so they'll probably get their own thing. So yeah, totally. I didn't pull it, but I'll quickly just say it here because you brought it up. Project X Cloud has been they're saying might be coming to PC like pretty soon-ish. There's no news to it. It was just apparently an offhand thing that Phil Spencer said in an article, and I didn't bother pulling it because we don't have a date, so it's not news. But there's going to be another contender in that, like sooner than later. So that's going to, things are heating up, especially because this next news article, Shadow, this cloud service that I didn't hear of until I looked into this, by a company named Blade from France, is reducing their prices from like $25 a month to $12 a month to try to compete with Stadia and GeForce Now. Their big thing.
I had heard about Shadow. I heard about it kind of as Stadia had come up and stuff like that. I never really looked into it, but it is similar to GeForce Now, where you're basically like renting time on one of their computers.
No. You are renting their computer. You're not renting like the ability to download and like use their card. So that's kind of where this people are thinking they might get past this legal thing of like GeForce Now, you are renting the ability to play a game on their service. This, you are renting the computer, and they're saying whatever you download and stuff, like you're just renting the computer from us. We don't care what you download. Hint, hint.
Right, but they're still streaming it to your computer.
They're streaming their virtual machine to your computer. Yeah.
Right.
But
and I think that's what GeForce Now is doing. Like you're playing it off of one of their computers.
They're streaming specifically the game to your computer. There's enough of a like gray area there where it might make a difference, which is weird.
Okay, yeah, I don't quite understand the difference, but I'll take your word for it.
Honestly, it's just a perception thing of like, see, no, the user's at fault because they're the ones downloading the Activision thing. They're downloading Call of Duty. We're not providing them with the download for Call of Duty. So it's weird.
Okay.
$12 a month is still too much for me, frankly. And also,
I mean, that's getting close to like Game Pass.
Yeah, Game Pass
is like 10, 15 a month.
Which
xCloud is going to be like
deal.
built into it, so it's pretty on par.
Yeah, it's not worth it though. Like I looked at what they're offering. They're offering like a GeForce 1080, like 8 gigs, or like they're offering pretty mid-tier gaming PC specs for $12 a month. Seems like not very good. Also, the big thing actually is that they're only offering it in areas where they have a data center, and currently the only data center they have is in California. So it's not even like a thing you can get anywhere.
Well, I mean, obviously this is a much smaller company.
Way smaller. Yeah, way smaller. A startup. Overwatch's lead writer leaves. Michael Chu leaves Blizzard. So.
Right, yeah, I don't know. I haven't heard this guy's name in the past. I was seeing the headlines. He had been at Blizzard for 20 years.
Yeah, he's been there for a while. So that's a thing, I guess. Another dude leaves Blizzard. I don't know how much this will really affect much, honestly, but people
I have to assume all the story work is done for Overwatch 2.
That's what I mean. They have like
Maybe
the characters
going forward when they add new characters or whatever. But
they have like the groundwork
Overwatch didn't
done.
have a ton of story to begin with.
Sure. And like even then the groundwork's done. So like all the heavy lifting's done. They just need to add on to it now. This is probably the weirdest one.
This next story, yeah.
Reggie, aka Nintendo Man, joins GameStop's board of directors. The ex Nintendo.
Yeah. Yeah. I think, yeah, I was, a lot of people were wondering if he was going to come back to the game industry in some way.
Yeah.
Um, GameStop, that is weird though. Um, I think this is the press release, so it's not going to say what he's making, but that number did get out there. Anyway, it seems like GameStop's dying, obviously.
Yep.
So to me, this sounds like he's getting his signing bonus. I think it was like 140K or something like that. He's just going to be on the board of directors, so he's not really going to, I'm assuming he's not really going to do much besides just like give some advice from time to time when there's a director, like a board of directors meeting.
Yep.
And then when GameStop does eventually go bankrupt or sell, he'll just get a fat check.
I mean, it's a win-win for him, for sure.
That's what it sounds like, is like, because honestly, I don't think he's going to be able to turn GameStop around.
No,
It is just, it is a business plan that is slowly not going to exist in a digital age.
Yep, agreed. So he joins the ranks of some high service dude apparently from Walmart and the ex-president and CEO or whatever of PetSmart on this board of directors. So they got some heavy hitters on there just waiting to collect their paycheck, basically. So he's joined them. This news I grabbed for you.
I'm really curious what he does say, though. When they come in the first meeting, it's like, all right, Reggie, what do you got for us? How do we turn GameStop around? I'm really curious, like, what his advice / plan even would be.
Yeah.
Because I don't know. What do you do with game? I have no idea. GameStops they're dead. It's a dead store.
Yep.
It is full of Funko Pops.
There's a lot of Funko Pops there, and not even ones that like you would want. They have a lot of like not video game related ones. This one's for you. It's specifically because I saw you post about it earlier. Yeah, Prince of Persia is in a For Honor event.
There's a For Honor event that has something to do with Prince of Persia.
Yeah.
Which again, come on, guys, just give me a Prince of Persia game. Why do you keep doing this? Like, I'm so tired of this monkey paw back and forth you guys are doing. Anyway, I also think this prince they have looks bad.
Terrible. Absolutely terrible.
He looks like he let himself go a bit. He's been relaxing, got himself some dreadlocks. He's just been hanging out on the beach. I think my tweet was something like, time has not been kind to the prince for once.
Yeah.
But like, I don't know. Also, like, I guess I'm curious. I'm not gonna play For Honor to play the prince. I'd be kind of curious to know like what his abilities are. Can he rewind time? That seems super cheap if you're like a medieval dude coming at this guy.
That'd be pretty good. All right.
Junkie in the chat does mention, yeah, he's got a dad bod. That's true. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just saying that guy. Anyway, yeah. Come on, give me. Where's my Prince of Persia game? Stop doing this, Ubisoft.
Yep. Okay, this one's just kind of funny. Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 2020 leaked again. So this leaked earlier. I think it was last year, where I'm just looking for the name here. Yeah, Lizzie Armato spoke about appearing in Tony Hawk's new game or whatever, because she said on a podcast he's coming out with another one. I'll be in that too. When she was talking about being in Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 5. And then apparently that podcast was like deleted shortly thereafter, but people had heard it already. So that was the first leak. We just got a new leak that this is coming out or whatever soon-ish or whatever. Apparently there's a punk rock group called The Death Set, and they announced on their Facebook that they licensed 5 new songs to Tony Hawk's 2020 game. You'll be hearing that shit soon. And then they were forced to delete it instantly, but it's been screen capped. So
yeah, I don't know about like getting excited about this because like it could be another mobile game.
No, totally. I just love that this thing keeps getting leaked in the dumbest ways possible.
There's also the fact like Why would you license 5 songs from the same band?
That's weird, man.
What
Yeah.
soundtrack has 5 songs from the same band on it? Even 2, it's like, "Huh, another one?" I guess they did have 2 popular singles, and then 3, it's like, "What?
Yeah.
5? Like,
Wait,
what?"
do any of the Tony Hawk games have two? Oh, I think they have two Run DMC songs in
I mean, they
Tony Hawk
might.
2.
I can't think of any that where there is 2, not that I have those soundtracks by heart, but, like,
Sure.
even 2 seems like a lot from one band, like, why wouldn't you spread it out? Unless you only have, like, 3 bands. "Hey, we got 5 from
Yeah.
each band, that's 15 songs." Like, that sounds absurd. I don't know.
Yep.
This is probably a mobile game, don't get excited.
Yeah, probably. Horizon Zero Dawn on PC was confirmed and is coming out in the summer. A bunch of people that it broke this news or rumor on Twitter earlier in the year were saying, "So when are we going to get our apologies from all the rabid fanboys?" So
Yeah, a
yeah,
lot of people angry that this game is no longer exclusive, and I don't understand that. Like, what are you talking about?
like if you like this game so much, you should want people to experience it. What do you mean?
Also, like,
This is a good thing.
what? Game's like 4 years old.
No, three, but yeah, three.
17, 18, 19, 20.
Yeah,
As a 4.
we're not over at 20 though. It came
But
out
it's still
it came out literally like
sorry.
a week ago in 2017.
Okay. This is okay. This
Where
doesn't matter.
2017
Sure.
to 2018 is 1, 2018 to 2019, 2019 to 2020, 3.
You're right. 3 years.
Yes, I know. What's this?
Okay, so Don't Nod, the next game. Tell me why. Just some more info came out about it. I'm personally excited about Don't Nod's next game. Developers of Life is Strange. If you forget who Don't Nod is,
Sure.
um, this is going to be another story-based narrative game with some weird superpowers involved in some capacity. Coming out this summer. It's going to be available on all platforms. But then in brackets it says Xbox, PC, and Steam. So I'm not sure if it's just an Xbox exclusive. Anyway, it's a Game Pass game, which I did not know about, so I'm excited about that. Game is
Oh,
going to be $30, which kind of gives you an idea of what the scope will be like. It'll probably be pretty similar to Life is Strange in
sure.
terms of like, graphical quality and how complex the game can be. Um,
Sure.
there's going to be unfold a course of 3 chapters, with the chapters releasing a few weeks apart, which is much smaller than Life is Strange typically gone. In fact, that last one, it was almost like 2 months
Yeah.
each time. So I'm assuming they're taking a lot of feedback and being like, we need to basically finish the game and then just release them pretty close to each other. Anyways, I'm excited. I like the Life is Strange games quite a bit. So I'm looking forward to their next thing.
Do you like the like shorter time span for all of it, or do you like the like you have something to look forward to every couple months?
I don't think I have a preference. I don't care.
Okay.
I haven't like really ever forgot about it. And when it popped up, it was like, oh, sweet. I get to play the next thing of that.
Okay. Fair enough.
This was just a real quick thing about Warzone in terms of how well it's doing. Call of Duty, this would have been on yesterday, Wednesday, tweeted 24 hours in, and we're over 6 million of you have dropped into Warzone. To kind of compare that to some other battle royales, Apex hit 2.5 million after its first 24 hours,
Okay.
which was faster than Fortnite hit. So Warzone is doing almost triple that number compared
Fuck.
to Apex.
Crazy. Hope I wonder how long it lasts because people have kept playing Apex. I don't know. We'll have to see, I guess.
And this has the Call of Duty name on it. And if it's
Yeah.
part of your like launcher when you're playing Modern Warfare,
Yeah. You could
that's a
just
lot of
jump right in.
advertising right there. You can just
True.
jump right into it.
Yep.
This last little one, kind of some inside baseball. Kotaku came out, specifically Stephen Totillo, basically saying, he wrote up an article making it a formal procedure that for their writers and reviewers, they were going to be giving comp days for any like gameplay time that has to be done outside of work hours for their job, which I just thought was a really cool thing.
Hmm.
because I
Okay.
often hear a lot of game journalists being like, when we do play these games outside of work, that is considered work that we just do not get paid for because it's seen as like fun times with games. But
Sure.
playing these, for a review, sometimes that eats your entire weekend, yada yada.
Sure.
He goes in his article saying that they had been doing this kind of on an informal basis. They're formalizing it by making it like upfront when you are assigned this. Like, look, we expect this game to take this long. You will be getting this many days uh, off for it after the fact, as opposed to something that the writers would have to kind of come and be like, hey, so can I get some comp days? He talks, this shouldn't be something that should be asked. It should be like just a procedure. People should never have to like be working more. This is just a cool
Sure.
thing to see. I was
Yep.
seeing like Patrick Klepek talk about how over on his on like Vice Games, they have like an informal one where this happens. I know at GameSpot, people get comp days if they have to be working long hours to get reviews done.
Sure.
So glad to see that it's happening. I just thought it was really cool that Kotaku's coming out and being like, yo, we are going to be doing this. This is how it goes.
Yeah.
So good for them. Don't
Yeah.
burn out your writers.
Totally. Because that shit can suck. Having to play through
Yeah,
a
it can
game to
ruin
write
games
it.
for you too. Like why? Like
Yup.
that is just completely unfair if that doesn't get counted as
Yep.
work.
For sure.
All right, that's gonna do it for news. Let's do some questions.
All right.
Topdownperspective@gmail.com, at TDP Podcast on Twitter, the Discord channel, or John's PO Box are how you can send a question in. Just like Linebeck did, and they write, "Congratulations, you've been hired to work on a spiritual successor slash sequel to The Quiet Man. What
Okay.
weird and totally unnecessary gimmick do you come up with to convince people into playing your game twice? As a side note, I love how The Quiet Man is one of your longest TDP Plus episodes."
Great.
So for those who don't know, there was this weird thing at the end of The Quiet Man, you unlock a way to you can play it with sound, and it's still just absolute garbage. It's honestly just like weird. The sound is so bad. Um but I'm pretty sure I did play through it again because I was like, I
Man.
need to know, and it just
Sure.
broke my mind. Um, Definitely check out our TDP Plus episode to hear us just go absolutely insane talking our way through that game.
Yeah. Oh my god. Weird and unnecessary gimmick do you come up with to trick people to play it twice?
See, all the gimmicks that I think about, I think would actually be kind of cool. Stuff of like, well, what if you played it from like this person's perspective and you got to kind of see,
And like Nier kind
what
of
was
does
going
that
on.
too. Yeah. Like
Yeah, and Nier does that like in a
yeah.
good way. Like Nier is like the good version
Yeah.
of why you would replay a game for sure. So I guess the gimmick so that I'm tricking people would be like, what if you play it from the girl's perspective and it's just the same game? It's exactly the same. You just happen to be the girl.
That's pretty good.
So that
That
would be
it's
because
also
that's
this
the
like weird
equivalent, right?
social equality like satire too, where it's just like, what did you expect? It's like it's the same fucking
Yeah.
thing.
But because I guess that wouldn't quite work for the Quiet Man because
No.
she's in a very different scenario. But like, let's say it was like there was two people that were often there. It's like, yeah, what did you expect? They were always there together, like fighting the same people. Like, yeah.
That's pretty good. Yeah, I like that one. An
Or yeah,
unnecessary
you're
gimmick.
like playing Double Dragon. It's like now you can play as the other guy, but he plays exactly the same.
Mm-hmm.
He just has like a blue shirt.
I feel like some games do this by like you have to do a certain combination of like things in the game or like speaking to different people or whatever to get different outcomes, and that outcome's like one line in the ending and literally everything else is the same, like bad visual novels or something.
Okay, sure.
I don't really want to that's not a gimmick though.
What if like on the Wii version of Twilight Princess,
Yeah.
you beat it and they're like, well, now you can play it left-handed mode, like it's
Yeah.
supposed to be played like on the GameCube.
That's one of the weirdest gimmicks is that like it's just the same world flipped.
that they just mirrored it.
Yeah. That's a pretty funny gimmick.
Honestly, like I could actually see people being like, now you get to play it on the left hand. Everything's like, I could see people being like excited, but also like, why are you excited about this?
Totally. I think in like that respect, I would do something kind of like where you're playing it like normal, like on a DS specifically, and then the second playthrough is on the other screen of the DS, and it's like literally the same. It's the exact same thing.
Yeah. All right. There's a few reasons. There's a few ways.
VGC Kenny says, speaking of the Quiet Man, do you think the number of truly terrible games is going down as time marches on? There's a few ways you could look at this question. I mean, more games are coming out all the time. It's easier access to make games. So therefore, just statistically, you're going to have more games and you're going to have worse games while people learn. Stuff like how Steam got rid of a bunch of the Steam Workshop asset flip shit, and like people have been more critical of that sort of stuff. They're not really popularized anymore, and they're not making as much money as they did during like for PC games like just even a year ago, but they still exist. Mobile games are slowly getting better with that, and I don't know why. I think it might just be because you have more options on mobile now, so you just don't like cling to all this like worthless shit that you could get in the store. Either that or
I don't know. I think I disagree with the mobile. I think you're just not hearing about it because no one's going to talk about the garbage on mobile.
Sure, but if people don't talk about the garbage on mobile, then there's like people aren't finding it as much, right? Like it's kind of a self-serving
I think
prophecy.
it's still coming out, and I bet like
that's the thing.
Or kids are just going to the thing being like, oh, free, and it says Mario Jump. Perfect. That's what I wanted.
And this is the thing: is that if you're just going the number of truly terrible games is going down, it's absolutely not. Time keeps going on. Those old games still exist, and more being added onto it. It literally will never go down.
And with games getting easier to make and more accessible for people to make, we're just going to get more and more
people
putting games out. I'm wondering if by like terrible games though, because in the past, terrible games would still have some kind of budget. Like it's different than it was now. You couldn't actually put up like a broken thing. You know, a studio had to make something. I think there's less of those.
That's what I kind of mean.
There's less movie tie-in games. Right?
Yeah,
stuff like that.
I think so.
Like people aren't trying to get just a quick buck on whatever tie-in they can get, or get a studio to make like a SpongeBob game. Like there's less of those. There's less like Nickelodeon garbage and whatnot.
Yeah, it's weird. I think also with the rise of free to play, just in general, those get like less popular anyway, because Fortnite's free. That's why kids like it. That's why they're gonna download that, and they're gonna ignore like Fort Block Shooter or whatever, like other weird thing on their mobile device. Like no, the good one's free anyway. So like, why would I get the shitty one?
Yeah,
but
that's a good point.
Just in general, no, because that's not how things work. They just get worse and worse.
Rasterman writes, serious question. Has the coronavirus changed any of your habits recently? I know of people who started being much more cautious. For example, evading other people or any kinds of physical contact on the streets. Others haven't yet, since their posture is leaning towards it ending soon. Personally, I just try to be more alert.
It is not ending soon. Just so everybody's clear. That's not a thing. Right. No, it hasn't
your day-to-day
really
changed anyway?
It hasn't, no.
No. I definitely think about it more. I'm definitely much more cognizant of like if I hear people coughing, it's like, I'm gonna move away. This is not even worth it. It is not worth like the seat I have if I'm near the coughing person.
Sure.
Like I said, obviously working from home now, seats on BART, that's changed quite a bit. But I guess I'm just kind of like, it's in the back of my head a lot. Like when I'm at the gym, it's like I'm just kind of always thinking like, well, I know this place was dirty before, but now it just kind of feels extra dirty.
Yeah, like that's not really changing your habit though, because it's there in the back of my mind all the time too. But like you're still living your life. which is what people should be doing, really.
Sure, I guess similar to Resterman, I'm being more alert.
Yeah, yeah, sure. I agree. Um, Disney says, I know they hate it when I say call them Disney, but Disney says, with E3 being canceled this year, is it the death nail for the whole okay, we actually answer this. The death nail for the whole conference.
All right, well, let's skip it then.
Yep. Hebrew Lantern says, what is your pet peeves of words being mispronounced / misspelled? Personally, I hate seeing the word Q misspelled.
Okay.
I had a supervisor that couldn't say specifically, so I hate when people say specifically because you sound like a moron.
I've never heard someone say Pacifically.
It's so
That sounds like
annoying.
something Tommy Pickles would have said.
That's what I'm saying, man. I've heard it so many times. I hate hearing people say axe instead of ask, which seems to be an Easterner thing. I gotta ask
I've
you
never heard
something.
that either.
Holy shit, it's so fucking annoying.
Axe. Go ask. I can't even say that. Go ask someone.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I've never heard that one. This one doesn't like frustrate me, but when people don't when they read my name and they don't know it's Sean, I just get like completely confused. Like when I have
What do
someone
they
like
call
I
you?
don't know, maybe I get seen a lot.
That's so weird, man.
Which is super weird. I mean, like, I guess if you sound it out, yes, like phonetically, it's seen. But whenever someone like says that, like on the phone or whatever, and it's usually like a foreign speaking person. So I
Okay.
guess they
Yeah.
haven't seen a lot of Sean's. But I'm just
That's
like,
fine.
how have you never seen this name? This is not a weird name. This is so common. You never heard of Sean Connery? How have you never heard of Sean Connery?
Yeah. That's pretty
So
bad.
again, yeah, that one doesn't like frustrate me. It's more, it just baffles me. I'm like, do you live under a rock?
When people like get sayings or idioms wrong, like saying I could care less instead of I couldn't care less, just like weird little.
I'm definitely one of those. I definitely just
Are
jump
you?
back and forth, whatever
Oh,
comes
are
out.
you?
I feel
Okay.
like at this point, they both mean the same thing.
Well, they literally mean completely different things
No,
depending on what
I
you
understand
want.
that, but it's been
Yeah.
abused so much. Like no one's gonna sit there and be like, "Wait, so you do care a lot about
Oh,
this?"
see,
Like,
I
no.
do. When somebody says it wrong,
Okay, well, I
I'm
think
just
in that
like,
scenario, like you're right, but I think you're being the asshole in this
no,
scenario
no,
because
you're
it's just
just being
like
wrong.
society has moved on from it being an issue.
Yeah, that's how
Um,
idiocracy happens when people stop caring about what reality is.
I think in like in the Reddit thread of "Am I the asshole here?" I think you're the asshole here.
I don't care. I'm right. Who gives a
Okay.
shit if I'm the asshole?
In the chat, we got some people saying library instead of library.
I've heard this a few times. Sure. Nobody
Yeah.
else has anything.
No, I'm
They're
not seeing
just
any other ones.
misspelling your name.
They're just yeah, getting some weird spellings of Sean, that's for sure.
Do you have any other ones that like there are specific ones I'm just trying to remember what they are now because it's been so long like from old jobs and whatnot.
Oh, my girlfriend says theater.
Oh, that's kind of weird. That's quirky.
And every time I hear it, I'm always like, "Did you just say theater?" And then she'll just like roll her eyes at me. She also says ketchup
Okay, catch up I can't stand. Also
as opposed to
milk.
ketchup. So
I
every time she says ketchup, I'm like,
yeah.
"Did you just say ketchup?"
I can't do catch up. That's weird.
No, yeah.
Um
So I mean, again, these things they don't frustrate me in any way, but it's just like, what do you? Why are you doing that?
I had a friend that said milk and that would drive me nuts.
Malk, like
Milk.
with an e,
Like with an A or
milk
something.
with an
Like
a, Malk.
yeah, milk. And I
Malk.
fucking
See
hated
that?
it.
Well, Malk. When I say that, it sounds like it was probably like an accent. Like it's so close, but it's just off a bit.
He definitely didn't have an accent.
Oh, weird. All right,
Theater,
next
man.
question. Uh, Dedinsky. I always forget which one it is. What sequels completely missed the mark of the original and were objectively as you can get, worse?
Sequels that missed the mark of the original. Okay. And they're worse because of it.
I feel like this one's not fair, but Mass Effect Andromeda is worse.
You're right.
Yeah.
Yeah, it completely missed the mark.
This one did not miss the mark, but it is like inferior than the last one. Mass Effect 3 as well.
Sure.
Assassin's Creed 3. That one more so. That one missed the mark a lot more than 2 in Brotherhood.
I never actually played 3. I have heard this. So other
Shadow
bad
of the Tomb
sequel.
Raider. Just a lot of like pick a trilogy. The third one's probably not as good as the second one.
Yeah, what happened with Tomb Raider, right? Like that's such a weird theme and like feeling in that game. It's
Yeah,
still
it's
nice
kind of weird.
looking,
That
but
second one was
Jesus.
really good. I'm trying to
I
think like the Arkham trilogy. I think it's just kind of like the first one's the best, and then and then I think it goes down after
they
that for the
gradually go
next two.
down. Yeah, I
Gradually go
think
down.
so.
Not like sharply, but it's like nothing as good as that first one.
Definitely a decline. Sure. The
I think of the Prince of Persia trilogy, Sands of Time trilogy, and that's definitely like a second one is worse, third one is real good.
I like a lot of sequels, so every sequel I think of is just like, yeah, but I like that one more than the
Sure.
original. In games specifically, I guess. In movies, I guess you could make some arguments, but that's not really the same. Oh, Devil May Cry 2 was not nearly as good as
Yep.
1.
Sure. And then again, 3 gets up. So it's very similar
Yeah.
to the Prince of Persia.
Yeah.
And I would say those are the two best trilogies of that generation, in my opinion.
Sure. Hmm. I'm kind of blanking just on games in general right now.
All right. Well, let's
All
move
right.
on.
Boko says Big Plastic has contracted you to create the next Big Plastic controller that the consumers will buy to play a small amount of games. What controller do you sell them on, and what game is it for? Big Plastic.
Yeah, I do like that it's specific to a small amount of games just to
Yeah.
make this thing very useless.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm trying to think what have I been playing recently?
Yeah, I'm trying to think of what I've been playing
It's hard because a
recently.
lot of something like playing Ori, I can't think of anything for like jumping kind of stuff.
The dumb things I can think of totally already exist too. Where it's just
Like
like
what?
they released that stupid Killzone gun that you put your move controller in or whatever to make a
I
gun.
was
Like,
trying to think of like a gun controller because I'm, for like Apex or Warzone.
and they exist. So like, I don't know.
Right. I guess if you remove the move controller though, it would become a little more unique. So if there
Yeah.
is just like face buttons on the side in some way and like and kind of like where the grip is, there's a the analog stick, which is how the Killzone one did as well. I had the analog stick back there.
Mm-hmm.
Man, that would suck. That would suck so much.
Yeah, that'd be really shitty. What about like a weird grid thing that you played for like tactics games?
Oh, I thought you were gonna go a grid that you play for Picross.
Oh my god, that's even better.
That's what I thought you were going.
That's actually even better.
See,
But
these ones are
either
actually
way,
kind of cool. Like the tactics one and the Picross one. If somehow you had like a a third party thing that Bluetooth to the Switch, we're talking murder by numbers right now.
yeah,
And whenever you got to a puzzle, digitally it would like light up on the sides of the numbers, and then I guess you could just
tap or
touch.
something. Yeah.
Yeah, for whatever. I don't know why you would ever need to do that. But and then with the tactics example, it's like that just seems like an awesome like miniatures game. Like that's just like Warhammer at some point, and like
Yeah.
that is a thing.
Yeah. Fuck. Gotta find something useless. I don't know, like a Legend of Zelda Master Sword that you put your Wiimote into or something. Just like
I mean, they definitely sold
that.
sword attachments for the Wii thing. Yeah.
Totally. Yep.
I'm thinking like I'm just kind of looking back at games I played recently. After Party, if there was a plastic drink that you had to like bring up,
It's
and
pretty
then that
good.
makes me think of D4. If you had the Connect controls enabled, you could do like the drinking motion that the main character would do when he puts down his shot glass. That was a game you should play with Connect controls.
I've been playing a lot of platformers, which are real hard to think of
Yeah,
answers to this question.
all right. I think the last question. Here we go. Suku. What's your favorite euphemism in a video game, e.g., son of a submariner, you dastard, and moldy onions?
I don't know. I can't think of any.
The only thing that comes to mind is
Moldy onions.
Monkey Island. Isn't it like you fight like a cow?
I, I guess I don't
Isn't that what it
remember.
is? Monkey Island? Isn't that the famous quote? Like a cow. Or is it you look like a cow? Yeah, it's you fight like a cow. Yeah, I can't think of any others. That's the only thing that came to mind. Someone said a trampoline controller for the platformer.
Oh,
Yeah, there you go.
that's
That
so good.
would suck. That would be really bad. Did you see the Mario Lego thing?
I did. I didn't bother grabbing it because it's kind of tangential to games.
I also think it looks bad.
It's fucking terrible looking, dude. It's ugly as sin.
Yeah, I don't like the way it looks. All right, that's going to do it for questions. If you want to send in questions for next week, topdownperspective@gmail.com, at TDP Podcast on Twitter, the Discord channel, or John's P.O. Box. What's your game of the week?
It's got to be Ori, man.
Yeah, I'm also going to give it to Ori, for sure. That'll do it. Hopefully John's all better, or Bagel's all better for next week. And stay tuned. We're playing through Murder by Numbers right now, and we're going to talk about that at the end of the month. So we'll see you guys later.
Bye.